Assalamualaikum semua. Okay guys, kita ada dua pakcik-pakcik abang-abang yang handsome ni, pakai baju lawa-lawa.
Masya Allah, Masya Allah.
Bersinar-sinar ni.
Masya Allah.
Kenapa ni pakai baju lawa? Nak pergi kahwin ke?
Entah butang dah cukup.
Butang. Habis kau butang kurang ke tu?
Kau cek. Alamak, butang kau dah cukup.
Cukup.
Tak payah cari jawi-jawi.
Ya.
Mana butang
Tak
aku
ada.
jawi.
Jangan sebuah. So kira sekarang ni kita berbual pasal butang ni, kira nak berbual pasal kahwin ni.
Pasal kahwin ni.
Masya Allah. Okay lah. Because I think today kita punya topik is quite hot lah. Because apa tau? Now we notice that banyak orang diorang kahwin orang foreigner. So when comes to property kira basically there is some implication that will be posed to them.
Sabar bang, sabar. Jangan terburu-buru.
terburu-buru.
Kita nak tahu kenapa orang-orang suka kahwin orang foreigner. Apa dia punya
Tarikan ada tarikan dia.
Itu macam kah? Oh, okey. Okey. Dia dah tarik ambil kuda lah kira kan. Okey. Betul juga Tapi
dengar, apa pasal diorang? You pernah tanya you punya klien?
alamak, ini sensitif tau. Kan kadang-kadang diorang ni kira diorang cakap foreigner ni ada feeling sikit lah.
Dia feeling mestilah.
Feeling
Orang lokal pun, orang tak lokal semua ada feeling apa?
Ada
Bukan
feeling
robot apa?
itu sebab lah.
Kalau
tapi
nak patung tak ada feeling
patung. Tapi
Ini nak kena blip.
Okay.
Jadi kira sekarang apa yang make them go for foreigner? Itu actually soalan cepumat, because different people different taste.
Different stroke.
Different stroke. Dia nak stroke pula. Okay lah, jadilah. But betul lah, I think ada orang yang some they find that the locals punya macam demanding. Or maybe because of kita punya lifestyle macam is demanding sangat agaknya. Everything is about paper chase. Money first. Kira okay, nanti sebelum kahwin kan, kadang-kadang kalau yang lelaki nak dapat perempuan, perempuan ni kira okay tak, boleh manage tak. Kadang-kadang yang perempuan nak lelaki pula, diorang cakap lelaki ni ada tak ada duitnya tak, kalau tak ada duit, I think next please.
Habis kalau dia sebagai seorang perempuan luar negeri datang Singapore first time sekali dapat Pak Maun macam mana?
Pak Maun
Pak Maun berhasil okey bos. Cantik, very good. Thumbs up punya bagi.
Pak Maun yalah, tapi Pak Maun loaded
Two timer pula tu. Pun problem juga. Kan?
Saya ada dengar lagi kubur kata mari, lagi kuat dia berjoget.
Lagi keluar dari menari.
Ya ke?
Tak ada. Yang I think what is most important kalau you kahwin foreigner as a local, you kahwin foreigner, apa cabaran ni nak beli rumah HDB?
Itulah. That was the first thing that I brought up, So because why not? Because most of them yang married foreigner kan, how fast will the wife get their citizenship? So itu is one of the thing that like it's always in the grey area. They never think about this, because orang
Love is blind.
Love is blind. But then again, even they marry Singapore pun consider love is blind. Because sekarang kes cerai pun banyak.
Tapi ada dua nama.
Ada dua nama.
Ada grant. Kalau dia
correct.
Single, marry a foreigner.
Kira under single lah kira.
Ada single grant.
So,
berapa dia punya kerugian tu? So-called kerugian dia tu.
Banyak sih. Kira half of it lah kira literally. Is half of it. So
Literally dah
berbunyi lagi. So okay, this is the implication that people might overlook. Diorang go for love first. Some of them kahwin, buat anak dulu. Rumah belum beli, and at the extent of even going towards rental. When they face with problems with their own family, kan, they bring in the foreign spouse, kan, then they got some rejection within the family itself, so they start looking for accommodation outside. Dia kalau nak sewa open market, it's not cheap. It's really not cheap. So that's the part where because the main person is, as long as one of them is a Singaporean, they can always voice out to AGB lah. I ask for leniency whatsoever. But whether they gonna get or not is another thing lah.
Maybe I can share a bit.
Yeah.
Si Farhan nak cakap dia tengah-tengah tadi aku masuk.
Tak ada, pasal cerita korang macam best. Macam pasal this story very exciting. Pasal kalau nak marry a foreigner, so selalunya these are the main problem lah yang akan berlaku. Kan, so what are the things that yang macam tadi Akbar dah cakap kan, selalunya diorang punya keluarga might not give a blessing lah.
Bukan give blessing, cuma it's
Diorang
not.
boleh,
Diorang they are okay. Tapi you must carry your own weight. It's not about blessing. I think most of my clients that I face is not about blessing, but it's more about kau dah datang orang kan, lepas tu kau nak duduk kat rumah aku. Ni apa cerita ni? Steady lah.
Macam my client what happened was dia telefon, bang, tolong abang, saya punya landlord dia dah kahwin dengan foreigner. Then nak apply rumah tak dapat. Gaji pun tak besar. Tak
correct.
besar. So one criteria, bukan kita materialistic but we have to be realistic. Tahu geng, kalau you nak kahwin, both husband and wife, kalau nak beli rumah mesti ada kemampuan.
Yes, correct. Especially if you are going for those slightly bigger unit lah.
So what happened was, dia telefon, bang, boleh tolong tak apply rumah saya untuk saya. Nak apply BTO as a single plus foreigner tak boleh.
Tak boleh.
So dia sewa bilik. Habis landlord dah start bising-bising.
Pasal apa?
Dia dah dapat anak nombor 1. Dalam dia gembira, dia menangis juga.
Yes, correct.
Macam lagu hari raya juga.
Neng.
Sorry guys, kita semua tengah musim Amud Hari Raya.
Musim Hari Raya.
Selamat Hari Raya guys.
Betul sih. Selamat Hari Raya kepada orang di luar sana yang tengah melihat kita 3 orang. Ada 3 amigos. Okay.
So bila dia dan masalah dengan landlord ni, so he asked me to help. So I apply for him dia punya BTO. So instead of BTO, I should apply SBF lah. Dan lepas tu finally dia dapat dia punya SBF after the second attempt, I think.
But that one will be for a studio apartment lah.
Dapat 2 room flat lah.
2 room flat lah.
Pasal kalau
better than staying in with landlord.
Yes,
yang
correct.
dengan almost every month lah.
Yes, correct. Betul.
So kalau korang ada kes macam ni, apa yang selalunya apply direct FHB, but the second time kalau the first one tak dapat, go to the MP, then ask MP to write to HDB. Moga-mogahan with that apa you buat tu, the second one you dapat lah.
But that one is considered as usaha.
Yeah.
You need to usaha, because even though you go and see MP, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get.
Yes, betul.
Okay, because diorang cuma just put another extra toll, extra pole, so that you might have a slightly higher chances.
Ada weightage sikit.
Ada weightage sikit. But it doesn't mean that you're gonna get it. Sometimes tak ada effect pun. So not to keep your hopes up lah, because but this is ikhtiar. Kita kena ikhtiar lah kan. Kalau selagi tak ada ikhtiar, tak adalah dapat apa-apa kan.
InsyaAllah.
So sekarang back to the yang you dapat apa? Kira dapat dah.
Dapat.
Alhamdulillah.
So waiting for key collection.
Tapi but when dapat very near future or still
near future. Sebab tu I should apply SBF instead of BTO.
Because sometimes even SBF also, it doesn't mean that you gonna get the
at least less than 1 year.
Yalah. So for the time being, diorang ada place to stay lah. Still rental lah. Okay, they have to face the music lah.
Still masih kena carry on juga.
What to do.
So kalau korang imagine kalau korang tinggal rumah sewa, at least master bedroom mana nak dapat lesser than 1,000. So that 1,000 rather than bayar the landlord, might as well you buy SBF direct from HDB.
I got one.
Ini cabaran dia.
Yes, correct.
Cabaran kahwin orang luar negeri.
Tapi kalau you choose the right orang luar negeri, kan, it's going to be quite easy. Because I also got one client, kan, dia kahwin, but this is a lady dia dapat spouse, kan, which is a foreigner lah. Tapi hidup dia kira macam steady pom pipit.
Yalah.
Itu dia dapat ikan dia baik.
Dia dapat ikan paus. Ikan paus. Jadi diorang kira
Bau
tak beli
siapa
rumah.
jangan jos.
Dia tak beli rumah tapi diorang sewa in condominium. So kira I mean when I look at them okay, this is a completely different scenario of foreigner marrying foreigner. So that's why sometimes kira nak cakap ni kira kan selalu but normally is the ladies.
Rezeki kau lah nak.
Rezeki kau. They get a big fish, but yang lelaki pula kebanyakan bila lelaki when comes to lelaki ni kan.
We marry down lah.
Correct. Unless but then again even those qualification yang tinggi pun sometimes I got some colleague who actually married Malaysian. They are well to do in Malaysia kan. But in Singapore it's just a small house lah. Because why? Because only the husband got CPF. You know, because the wife, the maybe somebody big, but in Malaysia, but no CPF whatsoever to fork into the property. So normally the husband will just buy a property for leverage. Kira at least dia dapat still make money even though they don't stay in Singapore. You know, some of them they stay for 5 years, then after that decide, or even sometimes dia kasih adik-beradik dia tinggal, all this kind of stuff. So, but this is declared, whatever it is need to be declared to the government lah. Don't kira macam hide lah.
Ini nak kena check balik apa kau cakap ni. Kalau bini kau beli even though as occupier, kalau dia ada property kat sana tak qualify to buy.
Tak, dia tak cakap dia ada property.
Tak ada. They could have property. Kira diorang maybe kaya lah kat sana. Okay, if let's say I got one client, kira dia married Malaysian. Okay, so of course the wife don't work in Singapore and don't have Singapore income lah. So that means solely based on the husband punya earnings lah to buy the house. So of course they can't really buy big house unless if the husband is really earning a lot lah. But even
kalau dia punya wife orang kaya,
orang kaya
you kata well to do pun Malaysia.
No, yeah, correct. Because I think
tapi tak semuanya orang kat Malaysia tu diorang beli rumah, bos. Orang kat Malaysia tu kebanyakan sewa kalau kita tengokkan balik.
Ni yang well to do lah.
Well to do.
Tapi juga because you know some of them yalah they pilih lah, you know. Because I got one colleague who's actually married a lecturer. Lecturer in Malaysia. You know, so cikgu lah kira. Ada orang panggil cikgu. Even lecturer pun panggil cikgu je. So dia kira kat sana diorang well to do lah. But when come to Singapore, it's a 4-room flat lah. But okay. But that's where you want to talk about.
Kalau 4-room flat dekat Bidadari dah 1.2 million. Millionaire bang.
Oh, tu kalau kat Bidadari. Tapi kalau tak ada lah.
Bidadari flat, bukan Bidadari
dia kat Tampines. Orang kita kebanyakan is on the east side lah, you know. So dia memang orang Tampines. So kira yalah, tapi rezeki dia lah. Dia dapat jodoh orang Johor. Orang Malaysia. I don't know, I didn't ask lah. Because they got a property in JB so.
Mina Johor pun manis
manis. Manis boleh potong kaki.
Okay guys, kalau you nak kahwin orang luar negeri, itu rezeki masing-masing. Tetapi kalau ada property,
kalau nak kahwin
kalau kan kita cakap orang nak plan nak kahwin.
Kalau nak kahwin bukan nak kahwin lagi.
Nak kahwin lagi.
Jangan
macam-macam. Kau butang dah cukup 3, nanti hari ni tak ada butang.
Ayah ada lagi tu baju ada 4.
Okay, so maknanya kalau you hold ada macam Malaysian property, you kalau nak beli rumah kat Singapore, you need to declare lah. Subject to HDB approval. Kalau tak, then most likely you kena sell off dia ada property lah before you can buy your
You're
own
talking about
property.
the property at foreign land lah. Right. Otherwise, if you don't buy HDB, you buy private property lah, then no issue lah.
Mana tahu dapat menantu Venezuela.
Ada minyak
Ada minyak.
Kalau ada minyak, presiden dah kena tangkap.
Tak, presiden kena tangkap. Venezuela datang sunting anak kau, mana tahu?
Tu rezeki masing-masing. Yalah.
Kebetulan dia
ini cerita apa ni?
Kebetulan dia terida minyak kat sana.
Ada apa? Ada loji minyak. Loji minyak. Allah, okey. Jangan loji ganja sudah. Okay. So ultimately when you I guess you know sometimes marriage is concerned sometimes you just go with the flow. Some people they don't even think about this particular matrimony residences before they get married. Dia cakap alamak ni perempuan cantik kahwin dulu
Iya. Kalau aku cakap personal pun macam gitulah. Hidup cerita aku macam gitu. Aku nampak gaji aku 700 dulu. Ha.
700
$700 je.
Oh.
Terus aku kahwin.
Itu tahun berapa sih?
Macam mana jangan cerita.
1989 lah. 1989. Nampak perempuan
Tapi
cantik.
tak apalah, nasib baik you bukan jantan tak ada CPF.
Nampak perempuan cantik.
Oh, perempuan
Nasib
cantik.
baik dia jejak tanah.
Sebab tu kalau duduk atas pokok.
Alhamdulillah.
Pakai paku je nikah.
Paku dia.
Rezeki memang Allah dah janji.
Alhamdulillah.
Rezeki Allah janji. So kita tak tahu siapa jodoh kita, tapi itulah kalau kat Singapura nak kahwin dengan foreigner bukan tak boleh. Boleh geng. Masalahnya cabaran-cabaran dia datang dengan tersendiri. Grant yang sepatutnya orang boleh dapat sampai 120,000 boleh dapat.
Correct.
Tak sampai macam gitu. Then
Sorry, kalau nak dapat boleh, tapi you nak kena ada junior you must be Singaporean lah.
baru nak kahwin. Baru nak kahwin.
Baru nak kahwin.
So that means ni bila kahwin nak kena cepat-cepat start factory production lah.
Tapi factory production pun sekarang take some time. Ada setahun lebih. So kena rezeki lah. So within that 1 year kalau dah kahwin tu, terpaksalah bertumpang-tumpang dulu.
Yalah,
Bersusah-susah kan boleh tumpang sama kau.
Kakak, apa ni? Joke eh?
Dia punya rumah lagi besar.
Tapi rumah dia banyak orang.
Ya, betul.
Sewa.
Okay lah So with regards to this, tentatively whatever your decision is, getting married is always is the best lah. Is halal and is good. But in terms of getting your property asset is another thing lah. You need to talk. You need to basically get your finance straight. Okay, before you can even talk about having a house, because otherwise you are just going to be pinned down with these particular issues. Because apa tu, bila dah kena, dah terjerbak, nanti bila lah orang rumah pula muka masam,
Actually kita kat property shop ni pun, kalau korang nak klinik macam ini kan, sebelum korang kahwin, kita ada kursus rumah tangga. Kita punya kursus rumah tangga, I think a little bit extra sikit lah. Korang datang sini, kita bikin planning untuk korang. Kalau korang nak beli rumah, macam mana, berapa
yes,
nak
correct.
So kalau korang umur contohlah 22 tahun, nak kahwin buat 27.
In fact, actually memang
boleh
ada tu. Some we do have drop-in clients, Dorang Singaporean, dia punya wife is
dia datang dari Venezuela
tak ada. The wife is Indonesian.
Drop into the
so
shop.
when walk in. Okay lah, walk in. Sorry, my English no good. They walk in. Okay, they walk into this place. So they want to find out what their options are. This is really very good. So basically they want to find out what is available for them. So when they came in, we did the finance for them. Then we tell them what are the options for them lah, And kalau misalnya if they get married, then if they have a kid, so what are the stuff that can change for them in terms of finance leverage lah.
Itu sebab orang kata pengalaman tu mahal. Kalau nak minta nasihat, tanya orang-orang yang dah berumur sedikit.
Masya Allah. Suara kau sedap, makin sedap aku dengar.
So kalau ada apa-apa, don't worry, kat sini ada 9 orang, ejen-ejen lebih daripada 10 tahun, a decade of pengalaman, each individually, ada dah sampai 15 ke 18 tahun, so penuh dengan pengalaman. InsyaAllah dengan diorang punya pengalaman, diorang dapat menasihatkan mana yang baik untuk korang.
Yes, correct.
Tengok, orang muda ni, penuh wawasan bila cakap.
Yes, betul tak. Sebab tu duduk kat tengah-tengah. Lepas tu tak pakai uniform pula tu. Kan? Dah cakap nari nak jalan Ukular Raya, dia pakai
Dia pakai uniform, kita tak pakai uniform. Dia yang tak ikut tim raya.
Takut.
Tak
actually dah bilang nak suruh pakai baju raya. Okay. So guys, with that we ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Maaf Zahir dan Batin daripada Property Shop punya gang. Okay, so with that I think we sign off. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.